Our next presenter, who is Emily Flinders from Finicity. So I'd like to welcome her. And if you'd like to take over the screen, Emily, and give us an overview of Finicity's solution.
Hey, Kim, thank you so much. Let me share my screen quickly and we will get started. Okay, welcome everyone. So excited to be here today to talk about latest tech and trends with others in the industry. If you're not already familiar, I'd like to start off by introducing a powerful concept you might have heard of called open banking. Open banking makes it simple for consumers to permission access to their financial data. In lending, it's really changing the game by enabling borrowers to share their information with lenders to qualify for home ownership or refinance. It's making things easier for everyone in the process. Open banking is expediting workflows that used to take days and condensing it into minutes. It's what's streamlining the mortgage process for lenders and borrowers alike. Finicity's Smart Analytics utilizes AI and machine learning to identify and categorize the data, then providing asset, income, and employment verification for better credit decisioning. No more friction, multiple requests to the borrower for the same data, or tracking down that pesky last blank page that always seems to be missing. All of this while giving the consumer more control and insight into what's happening and reducing risk for the lender as well. At Finicity, we're constantly thinking about how consumer permission data can enable digitization and better experiences. And when we talk about our Mortgage Verification Services product, or MVS, as we like to call it, that I will be demoing today, that's exactly what we're providing, a one-stop verification experience that avoids the fragmentation or disjointed process of utilizing multiple vendors to get the verifications that you need. With Finicity's configuration, lenders have the ability to customize the look and feel to align with the user experience that you're wanting to present. We offer a range of flexible solutions that allow you to choose simple to implement standard flows or to customize your flows. Our solutions are available via direct integration through our Finicity portal or through ecosystem providers like SimpleNexus and ICE Mortgage Technology. Today, I'm going to walk you through a generic workflow as an example, using our demo lender, Acme Lending, to highlight how this experience might look in a mobile application for a consumer. Roughly 70% of users come through this process on a mobile device, but we do also support a desktop version. Today, I'm going to show the mobile experience because that's how most of the consumers come through and interact with the app. We refer to this app as the Connect experience. As a lender, you have the ability to customize the look and feel of Connect to align with your brand. As I mentioned, I'm going to walk you through a single touch UX where assets, income, and employment are gathered in a single session. And you're going to see just how easy and seamless this is for the consumer. So the borrower can be presented with this application either via email or an in-band integration into your point of sale, and they are taken to this initial screen to begin. There's some information about how their data is secured, and then the borrower can click to get started. The first thing they're going to do is to search for their bank account. Once they've found and selected their bank, they're going to see some more information about their data security, the purpose it's used for, just to make sure they really understand the process here. And as we click next, they will credential and authenticate to their account. Once they click submit, they can choose the accounts that they would like to permission. The borrower does have the opportunity to submit multiple accounts from multiple financial institutions, but for today's purpose, we'll just select these accounts and continue. And just like that, the borrower is done with that step of the process and ready to move on to employment. With the employment process, the borrower is going to validate their pre-populated social security number and date of birth and permission access to payroll records. We then search for our payroll connections and return employers found for the borrower. You will notice here that there are also a few employers. Similar to account selection, the borrower can choose which employers to permission. Additionally, if they'd like to see more detail about that employer, they can do that here with a simple click through. Once they are satisfied, they select the employers to be included, and then they click submit. With this process, we're obviously wanting to create the highest success rate possible, the best experience for the user. So we have another feature available within MVS where we collect and digitize the borrower's latest pay stub and match it up to the transaction history to more confidently find the direct deposit information and match it with an employer. For the pay stub upload, we'll run through that really quickly. The borrower can either take a picture on their mobile device or use a saved file. For today, we're going to use a saved file. So we're going to our photos, upload this pay stub, click next. And just like that, the borrower has everything they need to submit for asset, income, and employment verification. It's a simple, easy process that takes a few minutes and can be done anytime, anywhere. Now that we've seen what the demo looks like, a few minutes later, a comprehensive set of reports are available. Let's look at what those reports look like. So for the purpose of the demo today, I'm just going to walk you through the transactions report. However, any sample report is available if you reach out to a member of Finicity team. The data will transfer directly from Finicity's open banking platform to your point of sale or loan origination system in XML or JSON format. I'm simply showing a PDF because it's much easier to read than XML or JSON. So you'll notice a few things here with this report. We have the total asset summary by account, as well as transaction details to identify large deposits. In the bottom section, we've also summarized income streams, which is really great. The most important thing to call out with this report, in all cases with our reports, we leverage this portfolio ID at the top right. This ties all of the loans in all the reports in a loan file together to a single reference ID. And that's all that's needed to submit for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to their automated underwriting systems. We are an approved report provider for both Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac, and love the partnership that we have with them and their efforts to digitize the lending process as well. Additionally, during this whole process, if you need to refresh any of these reports, you can do that to get an updated view of the data, also expediting timelines and saving you those pre-close verbal verifications of employment. We're just really excited about the results that we're seeing from lenders using MVS today. As I mentioned at the beginning, the data is consumer permission, so consumers benefit from using their financial data with increased control, transparency, and security. MVS leverages Finicity's open banking platform so lenders can use the best data from the best source in the best way to deliver a winning lending experience for their customers. With MVS, lenders can position themselves to not only survive in this digital environment, but to lead the way. Thanks so much for sharing a few minutes with me.
Thanks, Emily. Really appreciate that overview. I have a couple questions. Number one is, can you clarify, you said most people use the mobile version rather than the desktop. Did you mean that for consumers preferring mobile, or is it also true for lender staff?
Yeah, great call out and clarification there. So what we walked through today was the consumer experience. So most of them are using that on their mobile device. Would imagine that most loan officers today are still processing the other systems through the desktop view.
Thank you. All right, I have another question. Could you give a little insight? I know you mentioned the partnership and being an approved solution with Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. This question is, I think, looking for a little bit of insight into any type of rep and warrant relief. If you can share any insight there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a large suite of reports available within our MVS product. And both our verification of asset reports are approved for weapon warranty relief, along with some of our income and employment reports as well. Whoever asked that question, I'm happy to, we have this handy little guide that talks in detail about each report. I don't want to get too into the weeds here, that we're happy to send you, but that is of high priority for us to make sure that that's done. So we're working actively with the GSEs on any that aren't approved for rep and warranty to get them to that place.
I have another question around, do you have any shareable data on the conversion of the payroll connection success?
Yes. So we we're really excited about our payroll product and the success that lenders are finding today. In terms of percentages, it's really varying based on lenders and their workflow and kind of how their configuration is set up. So would love to, again, deep dive more of that specific individual on what those specific metrics could look like for their configuration.